Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we are going to be having a look at
rainbow delay.
But first we're going to kick off with a track from your friend and my friend, Russ from the Delicate Giants, Russ and Gary. This is Dust. Howdy do, welcome to the show. My name is Jade, and that was the Delicate Giants. And I was going to play that earlier in the week, but didn't get around to doing it because we had so many other songs that were featured at the beginning of the show. But the Delicate Giants' new album has been finally released on all streaming services. So now you can get on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those places. And there's a link which I've pinned to the top of the chat there. If you want to go check it out, hit the Song Whip link and you can go get it there. It's still available on Bandcamp. And if you want to go back and reverse time, you can go and see the show that we featured the entire album. We did the whole 54-minute premiere of the album on this very channel, which was really cool. So you can go and watch that. It's still there as well for your viewing pleasure and all that stuff. That is the Delicate Giants. Russ, who's here in the chat, who is one half of the Delicate Giants, and his cousin Gary. Awesome stuff. Also, welcome to the Wart Warriors, people who have clicked the little join button down the bottom and become a Wart Warrior, where you get some really cool emojis, which have changed again. Did they change today? I think there's a new one. Tomorrow there'll be a new one as well. So every day or every couple of days I change the emojis up. So they're faces of people who are in the chat. You know, so if you join up, you can have your own little emoji that you can play around with in the chat and all that stuff. Yes, indeed. Let's say hello to everybody here in the chat, speaking of the chat. And then we shall jump into today's video, because we've got a shorter show, because the shows have been a bit long lately, but shorter show today, because straight after today's show is You Rock with Thomas Christ. Hello to Jim Shannon on sounds. Hello, Cy F, and good to see you. Hello, Jamie Mallender. Dude! Boom. Hello, Jamie. Good to see you. Thomas Christ is here. His show is coming up directly after this. Vogon Ono, hello to you. Hello, hello, hello. Russ8889, the aforementioned, a.k.a. Who else? As I scroll through the GMCL, hello to you. Welcome aboard. Patrick Chandling, hello, hello, hello. Leela Lou Reality, I did see was here as well. There you go. There's Leela saying all the hellos and all that jazz. Is there anyone else I've missed in all this hectic comments and stuff? I think I've got nearly everybody. I think so. Just let me check. If not, I'm a dick. I'm a dick anyway, whatever. Let's jump over here. So we'll do some price drops, see if there's any changes or anything like this. I'm on the wrong tab, of course. Evolver FX by 4 Pockets is on sale from $9.99 to $6.99. Ironically, that I had a quick play with that yesterday when we looked at progressions. So you probably got a sneak peek of how cool Evolver is. I'm most likely going to do a show on it next week. We're trying to work things out. Popsicle, also, which we did a review of recently as well, is $5.99, down from $12.99. Swam Instruments on sale. UVI Beat Hawk on sale. And I forgot to mention too, Beat Hawk, the in-app purchases in Beat Hawk are on sale as well. So they're... I didn't pick up on the whole Evolver stuff yesterday, but there it is. Perfect timing, actually, a bit of Evolver, seems though the good people of the US yesterday, where was it? Where they had the vote, they actually voted that women matter yesterday. What a fantastic vote. Ravenscroft on sale as well, from $35 to $17.99. Kansas, thank you very much, Thomas. Good on you, people of Kansas. You guys are good people. You have a heart. You care. You allowed women to make the decision for themselves. Good stuff. That's enough of the political stuff. Today we're looking at Rainbow Delay by Primitive Digital Software. It is a measly $2.99, less than a coffee, absolutely cheap as chips, and quite unique and fascinating, I believe. So we're going to have a play with it now. I don't have a project that I've made with it today. I'm just going to run through some things. Some guitars, some piano, some vocals, a few things with it, just so you can hear what it can do. And then it's like most of the time, it's up to your imagination on if you think it's something that you can add to your arsenal of apps. Because, as we say on this show, apps aren't Pokemon and you don't need them all, but definitely go and get the ones that you feel can add something to your music that can really make, so try and envision what these apps could do for you. So I have this opened up in AUM. That's where we're going to be doing the business today in AUM. As you can see, I've got a few instances of it open here, and I think what I'll do first is kick off with a bit of guitar. A bit of guitar, shall we? Good stuff. Let me grab an axe. Let me grab a real guitar as opposed to those fake guitars. So we've got a guitar here. Oh, it's a bit dark there today. We've got a guitar happening, and I'm going to turn this off and this off. See if we can get some sound going. Hello, Mr. Smith. I hope you're doing good. Cool. We've got some. Nice. We've just got some guitar in there. We'll turn that down a little bit. Don't want it to blow your eardrums out. And we'll head back over here and let's have a look at this interface, shall we? We'll turn it on. Already there's something happening there. So this is rainbow delay. And it's just set on the settings that was out of the box. I haven't really touched anything yet. So you can straight off the bat hear that there's more than just delay going on here. And if you have a look deep into this interface, you can see we've got fourths here and fifths and sixths and sevenths. So this is like almost like a harmonizer at the same time. And what we have, just to explain, so across the top, we have our input colors. So this is shaping the actual sound that is coming from the guitar. So if we turn everything down to 0 here, except for, let's go to this last one here, and I'll see this one here. I'll turn this up. I'm going to turn off the delay. So we've got an octave there. We'll take out the feedback as well. Let's bring in the fifth. Let's bring in a third. So you should be able to hear what is going on here. We can add harmonies here to our notes. So the top row is the actual input gain and the bottom row is the delays. So what this means is you can add a third or an octave or a seventh, a sixth, a fifth, a fourth to the main input. And not only that, you can add a harmony to the reverb, to the delay afterwards. So to give you a bit of an example, let's turn up the octave, turn everything else down here. Let's turn all these down. I'll put the volume up over here, some feedback. And now, I'll give this a bit of time so you can hear that reverb, delay. Why do I keep saying reverb? Now if we add a fifth in there, under here, to the delay. And if we add, say, a third in there as well. So you can start to hear where we're going with this, yeah? So you can create some really interesting reverbs that have harmonies behind them. Now, not only do you have, if you look across the middle here, you can see we've got a third there, a fifth here, a sixth, and an octave. Now, when I click on these, see how when I hover my mouse over it, it lights up. So when you click it, you can actually change between 2 octaves. Between the 3rd and the 4th here, or you can go between a 5th and a 4th, and here you can go between a 6th and a 5th, and here you can go between an octave or a 7th. So you've got a wide amount of things you can go. Let's leave this at a, so now we've got a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and we can turn all these up. Let's do it. Let's turn all these up for just the reverb, the delay, the delay. I keep saying reverb today. What is wrong with me? So just from hitting one single note on the guitar here, I'm getting this chord underneath as a delay. It's So the reason I'm trying to show you this in this particular way is just so you understand what's going on here. Now, there's also a poly mode. So we'll flick back over here. So now to all these buttons in here. So over here you can see we've got poly. So I can flick over to a mono mode. This works much better for like vocals and stuff. We'll go back to poly because it sounds really nice on guitars. Now in that, let's turn all these down again. So when everything's down to 0, all of these are down to 0, we've just got a normal delay happening on here. To the bottom here, we have a filter. So you can, a typical filter, which affects the delay, and a volume for that filter. Plus we have a sync over here, so we can sync this. And when we turn this on, you'll notice the, when we've got sync off, the time, you can see it moves by milliseconds there. But when we turn the sync on, and then you click here, you can flick between times, or you can type in the number just by clicking on there. So you can see we've got a half here. We've got a half a T, quarter, so you can flick through all these. Let's put this to an 1/8 now. So your pretty standard kind of delay controls. But again, we can change this 7th here to an octave. We can do half of that to an octave. And let's bring this up to the 5th in here for this delay. So not only this, you can start creating these really nice shimmers with this as well. And we'll add in here Right, so I'm just trying to show you just a basic understanding of how the controls work. But let me put down the guitar, because we'll come back to the guitar and actually show you make some really interesting stuff with that. I'll just put that down. I'll turn this down over here. Hey, Chem, what's going on? Hey, Audible Video, hope you're doing well. We will come back to the guitar. Where are we? But I want to show you this as well. So while we're on this track, there's also this MIDI learn section up here. Now, this is really interesting. So when you click on the MIDI learn, you can actually assign all these to your MIDI controller. And let me show you this over here. So I've got my Arturia key step 37 here. So I can start assigning these knobs and flicking these, the change between the fourths and the thirds. And all you have to do is click on it. So if I click on this, and we'll start here at this key. So I'm going to click on here and set this. And I got to connect my keyboard. That would help, wouldn't it? That would definitely help. So now that's waiting and learning. We've clicked that key. So now when we go back over here and I click this key, it's flicking between the fourth and the third. We can actually control. Let me go full screen so you can see that. I'm able to actually change these up between mono and such. So I can go in and do all that kind of stuff. I can go in and sync my knobs here as well. So if I wanted to, let's bring all these back to 0 for now. La la la. Which is handy when you're playing along, yeah? So if I want to change, turn this one on, I can click just underneath it. And now I can go over to my keyboard and turn this knob here. And now you can see that is controlling that knob there. Now, why would you want to do this kind of stuff? Because when you're playing guitar, you can actually go in there and change up the sound and change up your sevenths and an octave and do all this kind of stuff on the fly while you're playing along and create these different tones and textures by adding different harmonies. So it's very, very interesting to be able to do this. I think it's really cool. Anyway, we'll come back to this guitar later. I'll just re-add this here, rainbow. I want to bang it on some vocals and show you some stuff with some vocals, yeah? Because it really shines with vocals. So let me grab this handheld mic, which I should have had prepared earlier. I did have, but anyway. And to give it some volume. Hello, 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 hello. Wow. Already. So I'll turn off the other mic. And now we have the handheld mic. So let's. so now. So you can hear straight away, you can create some really interesting harmonies. We'll bring this. So. Not only can you, as we showed in the beginning, add these harmonies to your main input, you can add them to the delay. So we can keep the vocal clean and then just add these to the delay, as I'll show you. We'll bring this back in. So check this out. What I'll do is, as I'm holding a note, I'll flick between these numbers here. We'll flick between, and you'll see how connecting the MIDI keyboard and being able to flick between these different thirds, fifths, sevenths, all that can affect your sound without you even changing your voice. Really interesting stuff. So it works really cool with guitar as well, as I said. Let's do it now. Really, really interesting stuff. And to be able to control that with your keyboard, really, really cool. So, I mean, this isn't. It's a really hard app to show off because it's not going to work like for just basic things. You know, this is something that you could add into like soundscapes. It's really, it's an interesting app. It's just not straight out the box. This is a delay. It's quite complicated and quite complex. So if I just throw it on a piano, it could sound like shit. And we can show you that just by doing this. Let's bring in a piano here, or it could not. I'll put down my mic. So on here, this is just a pure piano, and I've got just a black hole on here just to give it some reverb, and we've got this set here. Let's just play some notes on the piano and see what this sounds like. And again, let's change this seventh here to an octave, and we'll add this to the delay. We'll bring in a third. So you can hear just with these single notes, really interesting. Take black hole off because it makes everything sound good. Well, we can do that too because you can hear. It's almost creating like a little trill there of piano afterwards. So it's not like a delay. It's like this selection of notes straight after. Really, really interesting stuff. It's been one of these apps I've been playing with for the last few days going, how do I show this? It's an odd one. It's cute. It's a rainbow. And again, you can change we can sync this again. Let's bring it down to a half. But things get really interesting when you start mixing up these sevenths. So we'll take this back to a seventh here. We'll keep a fifth there. We'll add that sixth. And you start, we'll bring this stereo up to the third, and we'll put the fifth on the reverb. Yeah, and then we'll add the seventh, not on the reverb, on the delay. I keep doing that, man. What's wrong with me? Delay, 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 delay. I'll take the reverb off. I'm going to go back to my vocal for a minute because I do believe when I had the vocal set up before, I had it set on, let's just do this. I did have it set on poly, and on mono. So you definitely want to have the mono set up when you're using vocals, and keep the poly on when you're using it on things like pianos, stuff like that. I'm going to bring in electric guitar now with some distortion because this is where it super shines, in my opinion. Let's do this sucker. Hopefully I don't blow your eardrums out. I'm going to bring in some rhino. So for guitar harmonies with some distortion, this thing is banging. It is absolutely sweet. For $2.99, let's go bring an octave in here for this delay. We'll take this up to about 0.50. And we've got a fifth here. We'll bring in a third over here for this harmony. Sweetie, sweetie, sweet. Bring this time down a little bit. Again, we can take out all of this reverb and just... Nice, man. So we got a seventh here. Let's put all of these up. The fifth, our third. Pull that down. Or you don't even have to use the delay. I keep saying reverb. What the fuck is wrong with me? Let's bring these up. We'll do as our fifths. And again, with our keyboard settings, with our MIDI settings, we can hold down a note. We've got our fourth here, which is throwing things out. So imagine if you're playing something back, you've got a recording of something, and then you're playing it back and messing around with your keyboard, changing these sixths and sevenths and everything. You really get some interesting tones out of one riff on repeat. Nice stuff. Let's take off our clean here. I'm going to bring in Strummer now. How much time we got? Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. Cool. And hopefully, I'm going to slow this down a bit. So it goes up to 1 second. The delay goes from 0.01 up to 2 seconds, sorry. And when we put on our sync here, this is where things get interesting. Let me stop this and reset. So we've got exactly what I want to happen here. I want to go to a fourth. Man, why don't I not have this host synced? Here we go. So our delay is giving us this wonderful syncopated kind of thing going on underneath, and this is where we can start changing. So you've got this shimmer kind of thing going on without a reverb. So I mean, this is definitely something you're gonna have to play around with and find the right kind of tone. I've got over here. If we bring this in, see how this goes. Yes, it does work in GarageBand. It's just an AUv3. Simple as, just a basic AUv3, so all good. Super interesting. I think, you know, really create some really interesting creative stuff. And I agree with maybe a toy piano or a synth patch. So what kind of synth patch you want me to load up? What's something basic? We can do that. God, look how many instances I have of it running. So I've got a bunch of them running, and it's definitely not causing. I've had a few crashes, but it's been like I had like about 15 of them running with a whole bunch of things. So VHS synth, good call. Let's put in VHS synth. Boom, 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 and we'll just connect it to progressions, just so I don't have to play because I suck. You know how shit I am on keyboard. What are we looking for? Somewhere over the rainbow. We'll turn it off. Let's make sure this is. Oh, he's get scared of that. We probably do have a few too many things running here, but you get what I'm doing. Let's just take this one out as well. Goodbye to you, and make sure I've got nothing running in the background. I probably do have YouTube, Safari. Let's just clear those things. And let me find a decent sound. God. Remember, folks, in 10 minutes' time, we do have Thomas Cross coming up. Let me just turn on my keyboard. Find something that's, let's just go with our starter stuff. Got some bells here. I love flicking between these notes and just hearing the change and just holding down one string, yeah? So just being able to go over here and hold down one note. Really dark stuff. You can create some really lo-fi, evil, warbled, almost like it's a tape warbler at the same time. You heard what it does with vocals at the same time. You know, it's a beautiful little harmonizer. It makes guitars sound really nice. Great for soundscapes with the vocals. Yeah, it sounds so I think you get the idea, yeah? Neat stuff. $2.99. What a nice little surprise. This thing came out of nowhere. I reached out to the developer, and just, yeah, it was just one of those things that popped up in my little feed, and I was like, well, it's got a cute little logo on it. It's rainbow, and I like rainbow things, so let's do it. So, yeah, I support the developer. I think this is, I'm not sure how many apps. Does he have any other apps out? Let's have a look. Let's find out more about this fine person, because if you are a Patreon, I do have some codes to give away as well. What are we looking for? Rainbow delay, not reverb, that I keep saying over and over. What is wrong with me? So it is an intro price. There we go. It is an intro price. So if you're going to grab it, it's probably the best time to do it now. So he did Jam Synth. What am I talking about? There we go. He did Jam Synth, and I did a review on this ages ago. I didn't even realize. Actually, I did, and I forgot all about it. And what I do know is Jam Synth currently is in a beta for part 2, which has been in a beta for a little while as well. And Beat Machine. So this is his app as well too. So there you go. Grab it. It's on sale. It's worth your time. Really good experimental music, some really interesting guitar stuff. Great for vocals, a simple little harmonizer. You don't have to use the delay. I think it's fine and fancy dandy do. Yeah, good stuff. I like it. All right. So this is the end of the show. Remember, Thomas Christ is coming up next, and he will be playing Your Music Live. Even though his show is not called Your Music Live, it is called You Rock. It is called You Rock. And as soon as this show ends, it will automatically dump you over to Thomas Christ's channel, where you can submit your songs and he will play your music and all that jazz. And that is that. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Tomorrow on the show, remember, we have a fantastic interview coming up with this man himself, Mark Trail, otherwise known as Glitch or Dark Nut. He will be on the show. I'll be interviewing him about his music. So hopefully you can join me for that. And yes, he will have his own emoji in the chat that people can use also. Good stuff. And by the way, I have been playing around with, of course, with Mid Journey. Look at this that I made last night. Look how beautiful that is. Man, this Mid-Journey thing is sick. And if you want to jump on the Discord, the link's down in the description. You can now create images using Mid-Journey in my Discord. So there's a bot in there, and you can just type in your prompt, and you can create images as cool as this and this in my Discord, all AI generated art. So if you want to do that as well, come over and do that too. It's good stuff. Thomas Christ up next. Remember, folks, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. And you know what? We will all rise together. And I will see you tomorrow for the interview. Bye for now. Yeah, bye. Yes, Leela, you are getting dumped. Just wait for the end of the show and you'll automatically be dumped over to Thomas's channel. You'll be dumped, unceremoniously dumped over there.